Yeah, bottom. Why does it say that?
What's up, everybody? Welcome to Honey's Closet with Vixx and Honey. I'm literally, I am like all over the place right now. And I tried to use, why is it my banner working? I don't know why my banner's not working. Or is it, okay, there it goes. We can hide that. There it goes. I did it. Chris showed me how to do that. But anyways, I'm literally learning all this stuff and this extra stuff that scrolls at the bottom. But yeah, welcome to Honey's Closet with Vixx and Honey. We're not even gonna hold you too long. We got a good show. We're gonna do something different tonight though. So even Vixx is not really prepared. Um
Shoot.
yeah, so our topic is um why do people, stay in relationships or situations that's not either comfortable or healthy, and what are some things that they can do if they're looking to get out, because some things can be a little rough. But you know the routine. Before we get started, go grab your cocktail, go grab something to eat, drink, whatever, and come sip, chat, and chill with us inside Honey's Closet. And technical difficulties. Technical difficulties right here, but that's okay. I promise you it's gonna. I'm not.
Oh,
Here we go.
wait. Oh, what is that? Oh, it's on. Great.
What's the trending topic? Who got the ears to the gossip? Which radio station is the hottest? And if it's sweet like honey, then I got it. If you don't tune in, then you're wrong. Honey Clouds know what's really going on. So tell me something good, tell me something good. You better turn up the volume in every hood. Which clubs really poppin'? Who clothesline rockin'? Which show should I
What's up, y'all? What's going on? Welcome to Honey's Closet tonight. So I was trying to do something different with my hair, and I don't like it, and it's too. I can't change it until tonight. I don't think I've been wearing a ponytail and braids for so long. Hair doesn't even look right on me anymore. So
You notice I don't even care about hair, right? I just
one,
don't.
I heard it's so hot out
Bad.
there where you at that it's crazy.
I want to go
I
home.
don't.
I want to
I,
go back.
it's hot out here too. I mean, it's not as hot as it is out there, but it is hot.
This is like nauseous hot. Like I get outside and I just don't feel good. I'm like, what is wrong with me? I don't feel good. I feel nauseated. I'm like, is it the weather?
It is. You
Hair
got,
just frizzes up. I'm like, okay, I don't even care about life.
and you have to stay, and you have to stay hydrated.
Yeah,
You have to stay
all
hydrated
day.
all day long. So, um, today, why is are we getting? Oh, that's earlier. I'm sorry. I see stuff popping up. I'm like, why is this popping up right now? But this is from earlier. Sorry for the dings and the dings, you guys. I apologize. But this is live. And Honey's Closet, we're a little ratchet. So
We
nothing.
are very rich.
We are a little ratchet. I got papers flying
Well,
everywhere.
isn't not a professional at all. Okay.
Not at all. This, if you're looking for a professional podcast or anything, do not step inside the closet. Nothing is professional here.
Okay.
We are never
We'll figure
always.
it out. We'll figure it
Huh?
out. I said we'll
But yeah,
figure it out
yes,
as
we
we
go.
go.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. But instead of doing so, I was going through my Dear Honey emails, and they were all pretty much the same. Pretty much the same. So what I did last minute was I let me see, this doesn't make okay. Okay, so we got some. Hi, Liz. What's up, P? P's on here, my boy Patrick. So what I did is I put out some emails. I responded to some of the email back questions, and I asked them to send me questions that they wanted to ask the panel, and that we can ask, kind of like asking us. But I thought we would answer them, but we would also share them to the people who are watching. So we're going to read off these couple of. We got a couple of questions, and then our topic is again, why do people stay in unhealthy, unhappy situations, and if they want to get out, how do they get out? Those are questions. So before we go on with that, every week we seem like there's something crazy going on in the world. There's a shooting or a mass shooting. There's a kid, something going on. And I'm kind of, every week we're discussing it. And so I just thought, you know what, each week we'll just come on and say, we're just praying for our country. I just literally pray for our country, because every time you turn around, you can't even go to social media. You can't turn the news on. You can't do anything. You are literally hearing of something crazy going on in the world. Now we got another variant coming out, another possible COVID variant coming out. In Florida, they got, you see the story, the large snails that's taking over.
See, I'm the worst person because I don't even watch the news. Like, somebody could be next door and saying that they're going to kill everybody, and I don't even know nothing about it. I'm like, oh, okay.
That's probably good that you don't know, because who would want to know?
It's bad because it's like I'm not informed about. I guess I just choose to just kind of like, not because I don't want to know what's going on, but it's depressing and it's stressful and it makes you paranoid. And I mean, I do need to know certain things. And of course I hear about it when it gets to the point where it's something really bad, but all the things that's going on, it can make you so uncomfortable that you don't want to go outside. You don't want to go anywhere. You live in fear. And so
you live in fear every day.
I can't do it. If my day comes, it just is. I can't do anything about it.
Well, every morning, I do pray every morning. So when I get through and I finally go on social media,
too, yeah.
Literally see something crazy going on before you see something good. You might see through the whole list of things, there might be one really cute story or animal story, but it's shootings or what?
No, I was going to say that's why we need to do our Hood 101, remember?
Yeah, well, we're waiting on Miss Vixx to do her Hood 101. Speaking of, I'm going to be doing a new segment. I think I'm going to call it the Honey Sip. And it's going to be tied to my weekly blogging. I'm going to go back to blogging each week. So we'll talk about something and we'll just kind of give you a little sip of it. And if you want to see the whole thing, you can go to my blog and read the blog and see, get the whole gist of what's going on. But
I'll get the Hood 101 once my life slows down just a little bit. Because I know it's going to be an ongoing thing, and it's a lot of like research and different things you got to dig up. So I got to have time to do it. But I think it's important.
I feel like I have so much time, but yet I don't have time. That makes sense? Yeah. Like, I literally days where I'm just like doing nothing, and I'm like, but I don't want to do nothing today, so I don't want to go and do this. And you just who
you telling? I quit my job. I should have all kinds of time, but I don't have no time. Like I filled it up with other jobs. Like I got all these websites, I got all this stuff to do and like little client things. I'm like, shoot. So I was neglecting all that when I was, now it's like, now I'm bombarded with all this stuff I haven't done for some months. So yeah, I don't have the time, but I got to focus on the right stuff. I guess I'll say it that way. You got to focus on what's important, not just all the little noise, all the stuff that you don't really need to be doing.
Yeah, well, I'm going to start back blogging. So my blog, there's some blogs up if you guys want to see them. Just go to bloggingwithhoney.com, and there are some blogs up there. And so I will start putting that on here as well. But I'm going to start blogging once a week, and then I'm going to start blogging for my United to Live with Autism, and we're going to be doing some amazing things with United to Live with Autism. So we're going to be reaching out to families that are incarcerated. So, you have so many people who go to jail, and they may have a child that's born, right? Woman or man, while they're in jail. And this whole time they're in jail, they've never seen or spent any time with their child. So when they get out, it's a whole culture shock of, oh my God, my child's autistic. And depending on how long you've been in jail, the age of your child, and learning how to deal with that. So we're working right now as we speak on reaching out to inmates, male and females, that are in jail who have children with autism, and try to help them, prepare them for when they come out, and get them ready to be a parent living with autism.
Wow. Okay.
So we're working on that. And so we have a lot of things that we are working on. Liz says, I pray every day. We have to every day, not even just once a day. Sometimes you just got to out in the kitchen, like, you know what, Lord, like I literally talk. So my neighbors probably think that I'm crazy, because I talk to myself a lot. And sometimes I'll be talking to myself and realize I'm talking to myself.
Oh, I do it all day. I even answer. Like I feel like I'm like, am I talking to like another person? I must have a twin inside because I swear. I'm like, no, you cannot talk to yourself like you can't just literally talk like you're two people. I'll talk and answer. No, you shouldn't do that. Okay, maybe I won't do that. Okay, I'll do it this way. Like,
Well, you know what? Sometimes I'm my best friend.
I'm accepting.
I'm my best friend. I answer myself very well.
Yeah.
So
well, I get myself in a lot of trouble, but we're together in it no matter what.
Every day from my family to the world. Yeah. So our website for Unite to Live with Autism is actually should be live and up in the next couple of days. Our email for Unite to Live with Autism is unite@unitetolivewithautism.org. If you or somebody you know is living with autism, please feel free to reach out to us. Our 24-hour line is area code 310-628-4926. Again, that's 310-628-4926. If you or somebody you know is living with autism and they need some type of support, their kid is running all over the place and it's just crazy, please hit us up. And if I don't have the answers, I will. I have been living with autism for 34 years. And so although I wouldn't say that I'm an expert, I am. Like I have day to day, you know what I'm saying? My grandson just got diagnosed on July 7th. Liz,
really?
Write that information down, Liz. Hit me up. Actually, man, you're gonna go to lunch one day real soon, and we'll actually talk, and I'm gonna share some things with you. So yeah, we're working on that. And so, oh girl, let me tell you something. It is hot, and this might just look better in the ponytail. So anyways, with that being said, let's move right along. And I promise you, I will have our virtual support channel up and running on YouTube, and that's all of our social media is Unite with Autism. That's our YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok and Twitter. So please reach out to us on any one of those, and we're going to have that virtual support channel coming very soon, very, very soon. Yes, definitely. Yes, for sure, Liz. Let's do that real soon. So what should we start with? Should we start with the top?
I don't know. You said you got this surprise segment that I don't know nothing about. So
let's start with the questions. Let's start.
So, you're talking about the one you were talking about earlier.
Yeah. So I decided, because I get the same types of emails. Guys, if you're listening, please, we get that you have relationship problems, and I am not a relationship expert, but I will give you my opinion as well as Vixx will. But we kind of want some, every week it's the same. My mate is cheating on me. My mate is this. My mate is not doing this. And it's like, Mom, leave them.
You already know what the problem is. That's the problem. People can't see.
Leave them.
People don't want to be alone.
I know, but you know what? I promise you, once you get over the hump of being by yourself, you will be so happy by yourself, because you can do bad by yourself. Why would you be with someone that you're not happy with?
You're alone anyway. Right. You're in a relationship alone.
He's not alone. His sex suck or her sex suck, or they don't. Then be by yourself. That's the problem. People can't cope with themselves. They don't like. Do you not like yourself? You have to learn to like yourself. You have to learn to be your friend, be your supportive. It's hard to do. It is. If you challenge yourself to go to a dinner by yourself, or go to a movie by yourself, or do some things by yourself, it's uncomfortable at first. But you know what I did? You got to do it to feel a little bit more, like independence. Like I can go do things by myself. You might have to do that, a couple times just to make you feel comfortable. I started traveling with NASCAR. Remember, I was going to Daytona Beach every year. I was going to North Carolina. I was going here and by myself. And it was the best time I ever had. You'd be surprised what happens when you ride it, huh? It's like you meet people and you're thinking, I'm by myself. You start meeting people, you start talking. You're like, this is actually kind of fun. I don't got to deal with nobody's attitude. I don't got to deal with who they want to go do this and I want to go do that. And like, you know what? You're literally ruining the whole day. My first time going to Daytona Beach, I remember I had my hotel. I don't know if I go that far, but yeah. My hotel set on the beach, right? And it was 4th of July weekend. Oh, wow. Weekend. And I remember, I'm like, I'm going to go out on the beach, because the hotel, you could see the beach, and there were bonfires. So our hotel was the only one that had karaoke and a big old bar, right? But the hotel looked like Gilligan's Island. Right? It was like rent because all the hotels on Daytona Beach are kind of run. They don't fix them up because it's so many activities where people destroy the properties. But so I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go down here. Who's all these people out here, right? And I go down there. Mind you, I'm the only black person in a 100-mile radius, right? At this time. I'm like,
see, I give you that because you will get now me, I may not do that much extra and go out and go wait. And I'll stick to like dinner and a movie. You get on a plane and go way out, but that's good. You can do that, you know.
So I went out there on the beach and I see all these guys, right? So I'm like, and there was some girls, and I'm like, I'm me, especially with a couple of cocktails. I talk to people anyways without alcohol. So I go up and I am talking, and I realize, oh my God, I am sitting literally one person over from NASCAR driver Casey Kane. He's retired now, and I'm like, oh my God, Casey Kane, and he's like looking like she knows who I am. Oh, it's about to go down. So my brother, a really close family friend of ours who was hired to spy to go with me.
Hired?
Well, my brother called him and said, hey, she's going to NASCAR by herself in Daytona. And our friend Smitty lived in Orlando. He drove me, he followed me down there. I drove his wife, followed me down there and said, I'll be back in a day. So he calls me, what are you doing? I'm sitting on the beach with Casey Kane and his crew, and I'm having about go back in the hotel room. You're crazy. You don't know these people. Boy, I'm having the time of my life. I don't need you to come. I'm having the time of my life. But, I literally learned really what my worth was and how much fun I can have by myself and meeting people. And I went for like 7 years in a row, and the same people were waiting for me because they knew she's coming by herself.
Isn't that crazy? Yeah.
Took care of me.
That's
so
liberating, right?
It's nice. This one family would come down. They lived in Florida, but another part of Florida, and they brought their grandfather. He had to be damn near 100 at the time. And every morning that I was there, he would knock on my door and say, your breakfast is paid for downstairs when you're ready. If you want to come and eat breakfast with us, but if not, it's already paid for. We gave him your name. Paid for my breakfast every morning.
Nice. Wow.
Every year. So you'd be surprised the people you meet and stuff like that. So anyways, we have another message. The problem is people have a problem not listening. In every relationship I have ever been in, that person has told me who they are. I just chose not to hear. Right. And that is definitely the red flags when we don't. And I think, and you know what? That's my cousin Tony. Tony, thank you for sharing that, because we hear this a lot with women, not so much as men, right? We as women, we ignore the red flags.
Yeah, so we do.
We're on it. The topic is, why do we stay in situations that are unhealthy or unhappy for us? And if you want to get out, what are some of the ways to get out, right? Because you can't even turn a guy down anymore. Like there was a girl who turned a guy down and he shot her. He got mad and shot her, So people, you can't even be, I guess you got to be really nice, like, Yeah,
how do you politely turn somebody down? You just say, no, thank you, or I'm married. Is that the news? We just got to say,
you're married. I'm married.
To get out of it. Where's your ring? You know what? That doesn't matter. Yeah. We used to wear rings when we went out every once in a while, remember? Just so we wouldn't have to be bothered. Yeah.
Yeah, like, okay. But they said I'm married too. So
they don't care. Like,
go home to your wife and I'm going to go home to my husband and leave me alone. So here's the question, Tony, since you've experienced this with the red flags, how did you get out of it? And why do people stay in these relationships knowing that you're unhappy? And let me say this, you only get one chance at this life. And I'm not knocking, I think we've all been guilty of doing it, right? But try to understand, you only get one chance at this life. Make the best decision, live your life to the best of your knowledge, be happy, do the things that you want to do, and you never should have to compromise who you are as a person to be with somebody else. They should be able to accept you for who you are.
Mm-hmm.
So, Vixx, why do you think people stay in unhealthy relationships?
I said it because you don't want to be by yourself, or you think that you're going to change it, or maybe you, like you said, you're not listening. You're interpreting the relationship one way, and they're telling you, people, like you said, people tell you who they are. You just don't listen to them. They tell you what they want. Like if somebody tells me, you know what, people most of the time tell me I'm an asshole. Okay, well I better listen to you.
Are you an asshole?
No, not me personally. I'm just saying. Like I've heard people say, oh, people tell me I'm a jerk. People tell me I'm a bitch.
Oh.
And you go, oh, really? And you think, oh, you seem nice. No, they're telling you exactly who they are. You know, you're just not listening. You're trying to read into whatever you want to hear. Or, you know, if somebody says, I don't want to be in a relationship, you think you're going to coerce them into one. You think you're going to make them like you enough to be in one. And then you're mad when it don't work or when they're not doing what you want because I already told you. They tell you. Sometimes people don't tell you by telling you. They just treat you like, right?
Right.
So when somebody's treating you bad, that means that's what it is. They're not treating you the way you deserve. But we don't want to hear that part about it. We want to see what we want to see, or we just want a little piece of them, just a piece. I just care about them so much that I'd rather have this little bit.
Just a little bit. Liz,
you know, instead of none.
Liz is
That's
a lot of
what we do a lot of times
because they have kids.
Bit.
She says because they have kids, others do it because it's all they know. It happens in their families. So that's true. I know a lot of people say, "Oh, I stayed in a relationship because we have kids together." Well, you know what?
If kids are fighting all the time,
yeah,
they know. If the kids know when you're unhappy, when people are fighting, is it more healthy for you to stay with them and let them grow up seeing that type of example? Now, if you're a couple that, some people can keep it, you know, where it's hidden and nobody really knows, but they can tell when there's not love and there's not affection. Even my granddaughter will say, hey, you know, Papa, you didn't kiss Grandma, or you didn't do this. Do you not love her? They watch stuff. You know, when you're in an argument or something's going on, they're just like, they can feel the energy, you know, and they know how maybe things are supposed to be or how they used to be. And so we can't, I get it, because sometimes you do want to say you want your kids to have an example of the parents being in the same home and stuff like that, but sometimes it's better for them not to be. Depends on the relationship, I guess.
Well, I think the kids are smarter than we give them credit for being, and they know when things are not right. And what I do know is that if you're not happy, there's a really good chance your kids you're not going to be the best parent,
right? But you
can live in misery.
Yeah.
And so you have to make that decision. And my thought would be that we're not vibing anymore. We're not happy. Let's do the adult thing and talk about it and decide to split so that we can be good co-parents.
But that's hard for people to do. Like, people don't like to change. People sometimes you don't feel like going through the motions of, okay, so to get a divorce or to separate or whatever, I got to go through all this stuff. And sometimes you are scared. You're used to just dealing with this awkward situation, right? Then to go out here and have to be forced into meeting somebody new, especially if you've been with somebody for a really long time. You know, some people say, I don't even know how to date anymore. I've been with him since I was in high school, or I've been this, you know, whatever. And so you're just scared. You're scared of taking care of yourself, especially if it's for stability. You know, if you've never worked, or, you know, you can't afford to live on your own because this stuff is too high. So you just kind of put up with it. You're like, okay, you stay in your room. You do what you're going to do. I'm going to do what I want to do. So because I can't afford to do anything else, or I'm not going to give half my house away, or whatever your story is. You know, it might be an excuse just so that because you don't want to be by yourself. I think that's really it, right? Because I still think it boils down to not want to be by yourself. You just come up with a reason to not leave.
You can literally, you know, I mean,
get a roommate.
It is scary. It is. You're right. It is scary. And if it's a financial situation, it's like, okay, how do I manage? But at the end of the day, I don't want to die unhappy. I don't want to know that I wasted my life being with someone who made me unhappy for so long just so I can stay living in this big house or whatever. I mean, you know what? If you got it once, you can get it again. Let's, you know, I don't. Just
get half. No, just kidding. I'm kidding. Just kidding. But what I'm saying is,
you know what? When I got divorced, when I left my husband way back in 90, my son is 30. He was born in 92. So I left in 94, I think. And when I left, I literally, my dad used to drive the van pool for Kaiser. I remember I had just got a car, a Maxima. And I and I called my dad and I go, come get me. And he goes, come get you. He thought I was stranded. My car broke down. I go, no, come get my stuff, my clothes. And my ex-husband was gone somewhere with his friends. And he came I told him, I go, I'm leaving. I want to come home. Because my mom knew I was unhappy. And she goes, I didn't raise, she's always telling me, I didn't raise no fool. We got 4 bedrooms here. You know, and so I called him and he came and got me. He didn't even know. I left the furniture, house, and everything with him, which was probably a big mistake because everything was in my name. But I left. Best decision I ever made. Right. And so you have to literally tell yourself, and it took me months to finally say, I'm gonna do it, because it's scary. The reason why I was scared is because I eloped in the first beginning. So I went and got married and came back and didn't even tell my friends I was married, so I knew it was wrong. And then so I didn't want to be like I failed, because I have this thing of pride, like I can't fail. But you got to do what you got to do, because you're wasting too many years of your life being miserable, and it's not fair to you, your children, or anything, and it's just not a healthy lifestyle. Liz says, I agree, because kids are smart and you don't want to show them that's how life is. Exactly. And yep, I agree. Back to red flags. So when somebody, in the beginning, the relationship is always amazing, right? Normally everything is good.
There's always something. I know there's always some little things, I think, though.
There is, but when it's good and they're telling you everything you want to hear,
right?
And everything is amazing, and then you start seeing these red flags, under there, it's like, oh wait, that don't look
But they
good.
got an excuse. You're kind of like, okay, well, I don't know him yet. Maybe this is because, he's still getting out of this relationship. Or, hey, maybe it's because the baby mama did this. Or, hey, okay, well, I'll give a benefit of the doubt of what's going on. Okay, they give you this story because they didn't come up with the story. They got practice. They got to rehearse, right? Because they probably told 10 women the same story. So they got the story down, right, what they're going to say. So they got all this little stuff. Okay, I'm buying it, right? You buy stuff. Okay, maybe that's true. I'm not going to, because you don't know where the relationship is going just yet, right? So you kind of like, okay, I'm not going to seem like I'm overly, toxic, or I'm asking too many questions. Okay, everything's cool. Like you said, it's wonderful. I'm having fun, right? It's good.
But my ex, when I first started talking to him, he was the most sweetest, charming person. I was like, he's so charming, in a sense. I remember one of the things he told me is that he's had these issues with exes of making them feel insecure. So I'm going to do whatever I need to do to always make you feel secure. Just let me know if I'm ever making you feel insecure, and I'm going to do, like, I don't want you to feel that way. Okay. Well,
but do you see what I'm saying? They start telling you, right?
The first red flag is that you're telling me that you
have done this, right? And we're not listening, right? You're like, okay, maybe that was their personality. Maybe that was your relationship with them. Right?
So the first, I'm going to say, month and a half was amazing. But then you start seeing these, right? So that whole thing, let me know if I'm making you feel insecure, end up going to, I don't got to do shit. I don't got, just really,
how fast, yeah.
Right. But he had put the relationship out in public on social media, that people were seeing this good stuff, that you were just like, okay, how, and it was my fault. I was going through something. So I was like, I need the relationship to work, because it takes me from what I'm going through over here. But the problem was, I seen the red flags almost immediately. And we as women think, we can hang in there, it'll change, or they were like this before, they can get like this again. But
because they know how to treat you, because they know how to treat you, because they know what to do to get you. So and that's stupid. They know. It's not like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I got to work on me. I wish you let me know that I was this way. You knew what you were doing, because when you got me, you did all these nice things. So you know what you're supposed to do. You just decided you're not going to do it no more. Because the fun is over. I don't care. I got her. Who cares? You know what? Exactly. I'll get another one. Same story.
I got her. I feel like I got her. So now I can be in exactly
do what I want to do.
Who he was before, because he said, I'm not this person no more. I want to be, but this is how I was. I don't want to do that no more. But it's went right back to I was like seeing it and like, okay, we're gonna still try to, just because I gotta be in this relationship.
I'm letting you know that you're doing these things, right? Yeah, okay, great.
And it doesn't work. And so you have to realize, like, what like, I just kind of one day was like, the hell am I doing? Like, really? Like, boy, I'm a blessing to you, to anyone, right? Because I'm literally a good person. So it took a minute, but I was like, really? But I was getting.
It's almost like you can't believe it's happening. Like,
it was so bad though that I literally wanted
is this really
to go and fight. I literally want to fight. Like I literally wanted to just fight, just literally like I wanted to fight.
So we
But
ask you then. So what? How did you decide? What was the point where you? How did you get out of that?
because one, it was long distance, and I snapped out because literally I was a caregiver for my grandmother and my father. And I was running back and forth, running back and forth. And I've told the story before, but ladies, when we have so many other things going on, and I was really getting ran down. Right, I was coming back from here, from the Inland Empire to LA weekly, sometimes 3 and 4 times a week. I was staying out there, coming back in here. Everybody was, it was just really a hard thing. And I just thought, oh, if I can just get in a relationship and somebody can ease the because I'm worn out, I'm drained, literally about to have a nervous breakdown. I'm just everywhere, right? And the problem is so people are so used to seeing me as this strong superwoman. Nobody realized, and I guess it's not really nobody's place because I didn't say anything, but I was literally, I was on the verge of being crazy. So I'm gonna show a comment in a minute, but I just literally just one day realized I'm better. And this person right here was on my ass. So my boy Patrick, I knew he wasn't shit when he ended the clown. To this day, and it's been like what 5 years or so, he will not let me live this down. Patrick will not let me live this down. But Patrick knows exactly how bad it was. And I just really just was like, what the hell? I remember Patrick threatened me one day. He's like, I'm gonna give you one more time, let this fool call on you or do this or do that and whatever. And I'm like, okay, let me stop this, right? But people around me, because it was all on social media, right? He would put everything on social media. So people around me were calling me like, you're better than this. Why are you allowing this? And I literally had to sit down and look and say, you know what? Why do I feel like I've been single for damn near 15 years. I mean, I'm saying off and on. So I've been single more.
Did you feel like you started making excuses a little bit for him too?
Yeah,
right?
I was making excuses because people.
Oh, it's because this. Right, exactly.
And my
That's
cousin
the first
like,
sign too. When you feel yourself starting to make excuses for somebody else's behavior and trying to like make them look better, you know it's getting bad. It's like, look.
Yeah. Well, I had the men in my life, which were like Patrick and my cousin, are like, dude, what are you doing?
Mm-hmm.
Like this dude about to make me. My cousin's very nonviolent. He's like, he about to make me do something, And when you start seeing people who really love you, that you're close to, affected by it because it's affecting you, and they're telling you, dude, you tripping. It's like, so it was easier because he was long distance, and I was just like, I gotta get out of this. So I started working on myself because I just fell back in a slump because of everything else I was going through. And so I had to realize, like, girl, you better than this. Right?
I think I used to have a tendency I'll keep my relationships on like kind of not don't tell anybody for that reason. Like almost like, okay, but you think you can hide stuff from people, right? You think they can tell by the way you act, they can tell by the way you talk, they can tell what's going on. Anybody who cares about you and is close to you, they can tell. And you try to say, "Oh no, it's not. No, ain't nothing going on." Yeah, right.
Yeah.
People can tell, and I know I have a tendency to do that kind of stuff. Like I'll hide it and just not tell anybody anything. So that way, if it goes good or bad, nobody's gonna know. Because it's like you don't want to be, huh?
Where's the situation?
Which one? Which one are you talking about? They're
all but how do you get out? How do you get yourself out?
You do have to sit down and you do have to evaluate yourself and say, you know what? Like, what's wrong with you? Like, do you think that you're just that worthless? Do you really believe that?
Of course.
Yeah, and that's hard to do because if you feel down and people are constantly treating you a certain way, you start to believe, well, God, maybe I am just pitiful. Maybe I have no value. That's why people keep doing this to me. And what's wrong with me? And it's not that. It's you keep picking people because you don't care about yourself. And they know you don't care about yourself, and that's why they treat you that way. As soon as you start bossing up and you don't let people treat you that way, you'd be surprised the energy and the people that start to come into your life because they know you're no nonsense person. But as long as you start putting up with stuff, and they can see your weakness, it's really sad, but like you notice when you meet somebody, you're like this powerhouse, right? You're strong and you're confident and you got all this going on. And then when they get to know you, I think you start to realize they see your flaws. They see you without your makeup. They see you when you're not, when you're not happy or when you're sad or when things hurt your feelings. and they start digging in on those insecurities. And then you start to feed into, hey, I don't got this facade up that they can see anymore. They see me for who I am, because you don't care about yourself. You don't like yourself. When you start to really love yourself, it's like, you know what? If I could say, you know what? I wouldn't want to be anybody else in the world but me. When you start to feel like that, then it's like, you know what? It's okay that everybody else is beautiful, but so am I in my own way. And I have to really believe that. I had a hard time with that for sure. Because you'll look at somebody and say, okay, well, why didn't that person want me? Or, hey, you know what was so great about them? It's like, it's not that. It's just everybody wants something different. And you got to remember that you're still special, but you're for somebody else.
Well, for me at this moment, I was a caregiver, as I said, and I was worn down, just getting worn down, right? And I feel like I want to do a show for caregivers, because if you're a caregiver and you're literally taking care of multiple people, and I'm autism, and I'm doing this, and I'm going back, and I'm trying to work, and you're trying to do everything, it's really tiring. It's just, and so I felt, I know what I can do. I can get in a relationship, and somebody's going to bring that little joy into my life when I need it. And that's what I thought. And so I went into it for the wrong reasons. And it wasn't a good situation for me. And so I kind of went backwards. Right. And so, but it's okay. People can judge you or talk about you or whatever, but it's okay. If you don't stay there?
And you gotta know when to. We don't have our limits. We say we have our limits, but we don't really sit down and say, okay, if there's lines you really have to really say, you know what, somebody can't cross this line. They just cannot. If somebody starts doing certain things to me, these are things I'm just not going to tolerate. But then it is hard to stand up and say, okay, you did that and I'm done.
Right.
Because you kind of let them get away with, okay, I told you. And then after a while, it's like, you know what? They don't have no respect for you. So
before we move on to our little questions.
Okay.
Back to Patrick.
My kid's driving me crazy. Go ahead.
The guy I was dating, he came out here, and so we were over by my grandmother's house, and we were in the car. And so Patrick, I've been around Patrick damn near my whole life as well. And so I seen him, and there's no way that I'm going to be able to drive past Patrick and not say, hey, I mean, literally every time I see him, I'm stopping and talking to him. So for me, I thought it would be disrespectful if I didn't stop and say hello, right? Mm-hmm. So I have a guy in the car and my cousin's in the back. And so I pull up and I'm talking to him. I'm like, what's up? And I know the guy is probably like, why is she stopping talking to this dude? So I introduced them. Right?
Oh, shoot.
And Patrick was not happy, right? Because I said, so this is what I said. I go, hi, Patrick, this is my husband.
Oh, no, you didn't.
I didn't know, because he had just said, you're gonna be my wife or whatever. So I was stupid. I was
being funny, right?
So we pulled off. We went to Louisiana Chicken on Normandy and Western. I think that's Normandy and Western. I think it is, or Manchester. And so we get there, and who walks in? P. And I'm like,
he's like,
so I can't not right. So I go and I'm like talking to him. He's like, you don't be bringing nobody over to this. Like, he just went off. So to this day, he has never let me live it down, ever.
Oh
so yeah, it's okay, Liz. Thanks for joining us. Never let me live it down. So that I just had to throw that in there, because I know every time I talk to Patrick, this is what I hear. But, I think he's cool with who I'm seeing now, so that's good, because it's important. It's a big part of my life. So questions. So again, if you're in a bad relationship or you have a story to share and you watch this podcast after the fact, hit us up, let us know, comment, share, respond, let us know if you're in a bad situation, why are you still in that bad situation, and if you were in one, what did you do to get out, so that we can share that with other listeners. So I sent out some emails to people who were sending me emails, and I said, send us some questions that you want to ask us, and we'll ask people who are listening, and we'll go from there, right? So we got a couple of questions. All right. So the first one is, what is the thing don't? What is the one thing you don't like about your mate? Is there one thing you don't like about your mate?
Of course.
So these questions are to us, okay? But we're asking them to people as well. So what is the one thing that you don't like about your mate? Or is there one thing you don't like about your mate?
Is this a question to me? I'm confused.
You can answer it into people who are listening. Is there something?
Okay. Well, of course, there's a lot of stuff I don't like, but hey, I'm sure there's a lot of stuff you don't like about me.
Is that good?
No, I mean it's reality. You can't tell me you like everything about the person you're with. If they snore, if they freaking, I mean, come on, like.
So that makes sense. Okay. So what's one thing that you don't like about him then?
He hides everything in his safe.
He hides everything in his safe. You know we can crack the safe.
Well, we crack it. Okay, you know how?
Oh yeah, I know.
Okay,
we'll talk after.
And I'm gonna let him know that I
don't want to incriminate myself. I don't want to incriminate myself.
I've seen what's in there, but still, it's annoying. Like, why? Why?
That's crazy. You guys are married. You should share everything. Do you?
That's what I'm trying to. That to me, that's a big red flag to me. That's really ridiculous to me. That's a very annoying thing to me.
Yeah, I don't like that.
Exactly. That's what
I don't like that.
I don't either.
If you're listening, is there something that you don't like?
That's almost divorcey, isn't it? Is that divorcey?
That's get your ass whooped and take the safe and open that shit and take what's inside. Yeah. You know, he messing with.
Because you want something of your own. Come on now. So you can see that there are flags everywhere.
I wouldn't like that because I would, if I had a safe, I would, if I'm married, I feel like me and my husband should be able to share everything with each other.
Exactly.
Okay.
I'll just put that one out there. Yeah.
Okay. What is the funniest, exciting thing you and your mate spouse has ever done? And you don't have to always be I know you're married, so it should be your husband. So I shouldn't say that to you. It should be your husband.
That's my answer.
No, we're gonna have to talk about this relationship. We're gonna have to do some annulments or something.
Like something right here. Like, okay. Yeah.
Okay. So I have been out of a relationship for so long that we have to ask these questions in a couple of months. Okay.
So far.
No,
what do you like or what do you not like so far?
There's nothing I don't like.
You can't be serious.
Right now, there's nothing I don't. Well, there's one thing I don't like.
Exactly. So you got one.
There's one thing I don't like.
You don't want to share.
I won't share that, but there is, yeah. But it's not about, I guess it is about him.
Well, yeah, it has to be.
Yeah, it is.
So you don't like, what is it?
I ain't gonna tell nobody. I'm not gonna say.
I just told mine. It doesn't have to be something embarrassing. If it's
not. No, it's not nothing. It's not anything a personal body thing.
Don't like.
It's a situation.
That you don't like. Okay.
Yeah. So, but nothing that he's done. I mean, I guess he did do it, but.
Wait a minute. You're getting. This is getting weird.
This is complicated.
This is getting weird.
I know.
Okay, so can I guess? Can I guess?
No, we can't guess.
Well, what could he possibly do? Not tell you something.
No. It's nothing.
Tell you something?
No, it's nothing like that.
Okay.
So what's the most romantic thing you have ever done for your mate or your mate has done for you?
Again, my answer. Yes. The most. Yeah. I'm out of this. I need some more.
Okay. Guys, if you're listening, have you ever did anything romantic?
Sorry, my hair's dry.
I got a love letter. I got the sweetest, most amazing love letter.
Oh, that's nice.
So yeah, it was yeah.
Okay.
What is the sexiest, smoothest pickup line you've ever used or someone's used on you?
I don't know.
You don't know?
Smoothest? Well, I guess. I don't know. I guess it was that smooth that I didn't realize it was a pickup line. I don't know.
I remember one time this, and I guess it's probably kind of corny, but this guy's he was a Caucasian guy, and he said, "Oh my God, you are so beautiful. I can drink your bath."
Okay. Okay.
I'm like, drink my bath water. And I was like, oh, that's
Oh my God.
okay.
That was romantic.
I thought it was cute because he wanted to drink my. I don't know. I was probably drunk. I don't know, but I thought it was.
I guess if you want to say it that way, I guess my husband, he did call the house some kind of way. I guess he saw me at my job and I guess he got the number. He came in there and then he called the number and he asked the girl that was answering the phone, can I speak to the girl over there to your left or over here in this office? And he called me. He goes, and he said, I know you don't know me. And he said this little thing. He says, but I just want to tell you the most beautiful girl I've ever seen. And I thought, who is this?
Oh, that's so
He
cute.
goes, I said, oh, he says, please don't take this the wrong way. You know, please don't, I don't want you to think I'm weird or anything. And I was like, okay. And do you mind if I call you? I said, call me at work. Like he's been calling me. He literally called me once a week at work. He would just call me.
I remember that though.
Do you?
I remember you told me that.
So I guess that was really cute.
Okay.
But you see what I'm saying in the beginning, how cute that little stuff is, right? You're like, wow, okay, I've never had anybody do that for me. And then can I take you to lunch? You take me to lunch here and there. Okay.
So what was the first impression of your mate?
My first impression to him, like what I thought of him, was not my type at all.
Really? Isn't that weird?
I was like, I was like, I don't know. Because he's like, I said, no, I don't remember seeing you at all. He was like, I come in there and I like ring the bell on purpose to get your attention and you ignore me. I said, why? You must not have caught my eye or something. I'm not trying to. But yeah, that was my first impression. I just kind of was like, oh, he's not my, like, I didn't think anything. He's not my type.
Okay. Are you keeping any secrets from your mate?
For sure.
Why?
It's not any. What kind of secret is a secret? Like, I don't think it's anything that's like another person or, huh?
Yeah, I don't know.
Like everybody does. I mean, it might not be anything bad. It might be like, hey, you got a whatchamacallit in the closet.
A what? Oh, a sex toy? Oh my God.
I mean, how many women have those? How many women have those hidden somewhere?
I don't have one.
Nothing at all.
I have nothing. I've never used dildos. I'd never do it. I'm not knocking people. I just don't. Yeah, I've never.
I have them. I'm not saying I do have.
So I know I have a friend that
they give them to you as gifts, I guess, huh?
I have a friend that was married, and when her husband didn't satisfy her, she would pull her toy out like after they would have sex, and he didn't finish her off or whatever. She would pull her thing out
in front of him.
In front of him, like, okay,
like,
you don't want
like
job.
You're gonna.
Fellas, is that
emasculating?
Is that disrespectful? I mean, I was like, girl, you're crazy.
Well, I mean, does he know he didn't? So maybe she's like, okay, I'm sick of you doing this.
No,
you're selfish, so I'm gonna show you.
He didn't. Like, you're not constantly, like, you're not, because sometimes guys get lazy. I'm gonna get mine.
Yeah, he's like, and not care.
Mine, you don't get yours.
You have ears here. Did you know that?
Huh? Oh.
But you know what? But they're so great today. They're in their own little place. I'm so happy. So they don't know.
So if you can choose your partner again, would you choose them?
You're gonna make me say this on national. You're really gonna put me. I'm gonna get some papers in the mail. Which one? The past? Of course, I would say no. No, you know what though? I guess every last one of them I learned something. That if you're talking about like relationships, now if you're talking about the one you're in now.
Would you choose your husband again? If you have to start all over again, it's like, okay, you got to choose him all over again. That whole scenario of the job coming in, getting the number, would you choose him again? You don't have to answer. I don't want to cause your divorce.
Oh please, he doesn't even watch the show. That I know of. Anyway. I mean, I probably would.
Okay.
I think that because you go through things, so it's not like, hey, you hate them, or I think. I would choose him, but I think I would do things different, though, for sure. I would approach certain things a totally different way.
Okay.
Yeah. I probably would.
If you can travel to any year in a time machine, which year or era would you travel to? So while you're thinking, I can answer this one. I would totally travel to the Roaring 30s, like the whole mobster era.
Of
Roaring
course
30s.
you would. You
I
were born for
love
that.
that. Anybody who knows me knows I am a, in my former life I was a mobster at or whatever. Yeah.
I think I would pick the 40s, but I don't think I'd be like gangsters. I mean, I just like their clothes and I just like their whole.
So,
Yeah, and all the. Yeah.
yeah, I would totally do that.
Yeah.
So, okay. What is one of your most fun childhood memories you have?
With my dad. It's real simple though.
Yeah.
Real simple. Real something real simple. Just being around my dad. My dad used to do some really weird things. Like we'd take walks at night in the dark. Creepy.
Sorry.
On dirt roads with flashlights. But it was just really just time with my dad. Those were some interesting. Yeah. I mean, as far as you're talking about like just going somewhere, like a vacation, or what do you mean?
Just anything, whatever, like your fondest childhood memories.
I don't know why that just sticks with me. Like with my dad.
I think mine's would be just growing up with, back in the day, all of my
Yeah,
family.
that's what it's just
All of us were really close. So we were always at each other's house, and it was like a big family thing, and everybody was always at our house on 78th Place, and my neighbors, the Hamiltons and the Bledsoes and the Durtons and all the, everybody was just, the Nobles, and everybody were just,
Yeah, so I remember, like that kind of stuff and having family reunions. Yeah.
So if you can have dinner with a famous person, living or dead, who would you choose?
Famous?
With a famous person, living or dead, who would you choose?
Probably Jesus. I don't know. I mean, that's kind of.
I didn't say Jesus. I thought about Jesus, but I thought I'll talk to him when I go.
No wall. No,
I don't want to run, because if we talk to Jesus, we already dead, so I don't want to be dead.
You said living or dead. So back then, I mean, that would have been, I don't know. I really don't know. I don't know.
I think now, being that we're doing podcasting and everything that's going on in the world, I think I would choose Nipsey Hussle. Okay. Because we actually were on the verge of getting him before he was murdered.
Wow.
Which his killer was found guilty. R. Kelly was sentenced to 30 years. Ooh, Lord.
Let's have a question about R. Kelly.
Okay.
Now, I know he had that blowout crazy thing of his. I mean, do you believe that was real or if it was for show?
What?
Remember when he was on with what's her name doing that interview and he lost it? I mean, he went.
I think it was for show, some of it, but I think he was having a nervous breakdown because he knew he was busted.
I think it was real too. I mean, do you know what? Truthfully, I think he did do a lot of that stuff, but I do think some of it's probably added on. Some certain things people might be embellishing, but I do believe he did. He deserves whatever the time, even if it's one person. Yeah, even if it was one person.
The family brought their kids to him. The family should be charged too. I mean, first, this is what I think about R. Kelly. Is he guilty? Yes. I think he's sick. He was abused his childhood, and people don't get it. When you are abused,
you may become an abuser, right?
That's what you know. And that's the unfortunate part, that he never got the help that he needed. So he became a perpetrator, and now he's where he is. And people ask me all the time, I'm not never listening to his music. I'm not going to lie to you and say I'm never going to listen to his music, because he was one of the musical geniuses of our time, R&B. Unfortunate, his music is different than, to my opinion, from who he is. And I don't judge people who don't listen. I get it. Don't judge me if I put
that about Michael Jackson too, though, right? Remember, they're like, "Oh, Michael Jackson's this."
Well, it's also who you believe, because people say we don't believe it about Michael Jackson, right? But we believe it about R. Kelly. People believe it about Michael Jackson. So, the thing about it is, nobody ever had any really good evidence on Michael Jackson. So.
It's just like to hang out with little kids a little too much. But I think he was just very maybe.
I don't think he did anything. So
I don't. I just think he was a little bit like he was reliving too much of his childhood. Some people just they feel more safe with kids, whatever they're
grow up. He didn't have a child,
right? So he felt more safe and comfortable because they were
with children, right?
Oh yeah.
But
But R. Kelly, yeah, it's like maybe he didn't realize that he was that sick of a person. I don't know.
well,
Maybe
they
he was
don't
trying to be Hugh
realize how
Hefner.
sick
Was
they
he
are.
trying to be Hugh Hefner? I mean, what was?
They don't realize how sick they are. He's sick. He's mentally ill. So if you really believe in mental illness, you know that there's, he's just mentally ill. So I pray for his soul, that he can deal with what he's dealing with. But I'm not going to lie and say I won't ever listen to an R. Kelly song. I won't. I may do it in the closet. No, but I just, I don't know. Right now, I don't listen to it. I haven't listened to an R. Kelly song, but, he got some jams, and you might want to put in, because especially with the bullshit music we have out here now, we may have to go to some R. Kelly. But what's the wildest thing you've ever done? I'm going to give you two more.
Didn't we do this before? Didn't we do this before about the wild things?
What's your biggest fear?
My biggest fear? Ooh, being a failure. I don't know. Like, in life. Yeah, I think just not, I don't know. What's yours?
Dying and leaving my children.
Oh, yeah, that's a big one. That's it. You know what? That's a good one. I agree. That's a good one.
Especially Darius.
Oh, yeah.
Leaving up and leaving Darius. That is my biggest fear. Biggest fear. That makes me cry
untimely type, yeah.
Yeah, that makes me cry a lot.
Of course, so, then I guess if you put it that way, of course, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
Let me give you one more.
So I didn't get to prepare for these questions.
I didn't want you to. I didn't want you to prepare. I wanted them straight from you.
But I'm sure later on.
Favorite movie to watch over and over again.
What's my favorite movie? I used to watch Lawless. I like, and I like that other one. What's it? Count of Monte Cristo. I used to watch that movie over and over for some weird reason. Really? Have you ever seen that movie?
No, neither one of them.
Yeah,
no.
It's their movie. Yeah, that you probably.
So my favorite movie of all time. I have a couple
of all times.
Well, I don't want to say all time. I can't say for all time, but one of my favorite movies, and I've literally watched it over. I've probably literally watched this movie, no bull crappy, no exaggeration, 200 times. Mm-hmm. Do you know what it is?
No. I just have another one that I've watched that many times.
Is The Green Mile.
Oh,
I love The Green Mile. I have watched it over and over and over and over till my kids broke the CD.
Yeah, I watched Pride and Prejudice a whole bunch too. I think I just had no DVDs. I just kept playing that stupid movie. But
I can pretty much recite that movie.
Wow.
The Green Mile. I love that movie so much. So anyways, guys, thank you for tuning in. Share it. If you come in later on and you watch this, let us know, some of your do's and don'ts, relationships. If you've ever been in a bad relationship, how did you get out of it? Why did you stay in it for as long as you did? And if you listen and you want to answer some of the questions we just threw out there, please do follow us on social media. Our YouTube is Honey's Closet TV, and my social media pretty much is Miss Radio Host. My TikTok is Honey's Closet 1. And go and follow us for our Autism Unite with Autism on all social media. Unite with Autism. And if you know someone or you yourself are living with autism, please hit us up. And you need some kind of support, you want to join a support group, you need some help. We got a lot of amazing things coming up with our nonprofit. So Vixx.
I never have nothing to say. You say it all. It's great. It's perfect.
That means I talk too much.
That just means it's a perfect ending.
All right. Well, you know what? Stay safe out there, guys. Start wearing your mask. And we have another variant coming out. Pray for your first responders because they're out here on the front of this pandemic. Every time it's always something. Pray for one another. We're living in some really, really, really hard times. If you read the Bible, you know it's in the Bible, these plagues that are going around. Start praying. Get your life together. Give your soul to God. So what'd he say? I love your hair. Thank you.
And you were so worried about it, huh?
For him to say that, okay, P, I love you. And so pray, stay prayed up, man. It's crazy out here. Until next week, always stand for something or you will fall for anything. Deuces.